I'm very excited today to introduce Rafael Feliciano-Roman. He is here from the Afro Caribbean Cultural Center of Waterbury. They are here because recently Colectivo Morivi, an all-female artist collective from Puerto Rico, painted the nearly 300 square foot mural on the retaining wall of the center's new complex at 158 Grand Street. The artist completed the mural in 2 weeks with the help of 40 youths from the center's summer program. And Rafael has gone on record saying this is about how do we come together. Our differences are minor, but our similarities are stronger. So instead of just going online, let's have powerful conversations about the internet, how it affects us, how cyberbullying affects us. And they put together this incredible mural to help raise awareness and help show that there is support for tackling these issues. So I would love to introduce Rafael to talk about his center, what you guys are doing, and what you think we need to know.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Do you need to put this up for you?
Yeah,
I got you.
and that's it.
All right. So hello, everyone. Hola, buenas tardes. My name is, again, Rafael Feliciano-Roman. I just drove by. I'm here with my sister, Queen, and we're people of color. I was born and raised in Waterbury. I like to give context of who I am first, my story, my journey, because it informs. And then just to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to see, don't hate, tolerate, to see, equity and fairness and affordable housing and loving one another. I thank you guys so much for being not allies, but accomplices in the fight for justice and equity. And thank you guys so much for that. So I was born and raised in the city of Waterbury. I was born in the Brooklyn section of Waterbury. I'm Afro-Taino or Afro-Puerto Rican. I was born and raised in the city. And like most kids in the city of Waterbury, I grew up in that whole block radius of the Brooklyn section of Waterbury where Brooklyn Bakery Company was, going up to Westside Middle School to Kennedy. But like most kids of color who happen to be queer, I left Waterbury after high school. It did not feel safe. Waterbury, I like to say, is a little D town, little Democrat town, and that there's the Reagan Democrats, the conservative Democrats, and so it looks on paper like it's a big Democratic bastion, but I can share firsthand that I was beat up in middle school at Westside for being gay, for being different, for being called out. And so like most young kids, I left this whole area. I moved away for 12, 13 years. I've been homeless twice. I'm openly HIV positive. And I got out of homelessness the second time and became a community organizer in Massachusetts in a town called Holyoke that had the highest percentage per capita of Puerto Ricans in the U.S. And it was in Massachusetts that I found a renewed love for my island of Puerto Rico and the fact that I was Taino, the fact that the indigenous folks of Puerto Rico, Columbus didn't discover the Americas, the Tainos discovered Columbus, and that our bloodline continues to this day, and our culture hasn't gone away. And also acknowledging, because I'm from the island and I lived in Puerto Rico for 2 years, there was a missing piece to my heart, and that was my African descendant roots. That was the fact that we all have bloodlines of Mother Africa flowing through our veins, and seeing the rich cultures in Puerto Rico, in Cuba, of connecting those cultural roots is really important to me. So I moved home at the end of the pandemic. My grandmother contracted Alzheimer's, and my mom and dad split up, and I'm a mama's boy and a grandma's boy. So I moved home, and my mom lives with me now. And I started the Afro-Caribbean Cultural Center with amazing women of color like Queen, like Anna, like Renee. 9 other women of color got together and believed in my crazy vision to say, hey, let's use art and culture as a way to unite, as a way to get our community transformed within Waterbury. 65% of the student population is Latino. Waterbury is number 14 in the U.S. for percentage of Puerto Ricans per capita and 22 for the number of Puerto Ricans per capita. Did you guys know that? No, right? So Waterbury has this huge Puerto Rican bastion in Mecca, but you would never know that. Because again, through colonization, through design, folks have said, hey, Latinos are great, but we have to know that Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. We can vote in elections, and it's really critically important. The reason why I'm here is about intersectionality, right? I'm coming all the way out to Southbury to say I love it here. I spoke at a church down the street with one of my good friends, Jack Toblerone, who goes to a church down the street here. They're on the basement level. Just, right? There you go. Yeah, so I've been there. I've spoken to them as well, because in Waterbury, we started LGBT Pride. The committee, we do LGBT Pride Week now, right? Because I'm not just Latino, I'm not just a black man, I'm also a queer man, right? I'm not just someone who is also of color fighting through art and culture, but I'm also someone who was formerly homeless twice, who understands that affordable housing is critically important, and Waterbury, again, little D town, has a very big aversion to creating more affordable housing in the city, right? And yet we're seeing a lot of influx of great developers coming to town who are making market rent apartments downtown, but they're not including affordable housing units in them, right? So we're going to see the gentrification wave hit our city very soon, and that impacts surrounding towns. I'm also someone who's HIV positive, and the fact that the Ryan White funding in the city of Waterbury for housing was cut by 45% because the city of New Haven, who oversees the funding, decided the Waterbury needs less money. And yet we see a high rate of black and Latino men having sex with men, and heterosexual black women are still contracting HIV like mid-2000 rates. Did anybody know that? These are all things that are happening in our city that are really impacting all of us, right? And so why am I here? Why am I coming out to Southbury? Number one, for our youth. Little Jackson and his mom, who I wish I could see her today, came to our Cuyo summer camp this summer, and seeing kids from this region come together, from multiple different backgrounds, to celebrate art and culture as a tool to have conversations, right? I love your t-shirts and your swag. I want one. Let me buy one, right? Let me support your cause. But when I talk about great accomplices, everything you guys are doing to put your physical bodies on the front line, especially now with this election cycle and season, is critically important to someone like me of color. Me and Queen were rolling up, and I'm beeping my horn. I was one of the mom vans, beeping the horn when I see you guys, because I love that. And I invite you guys to come to Waterbury. Let's do this standout in downtown. This year when we did Waterbury Pride, we had homophobia folks come and protest the parade and the festival. They sat there and spewed hate. What did we do? Us, Meriden Pride, got together. We created a rainbow wall, and we physically just covered them and blocked them so young people can enjoy Pride. What you guys are doing on these front lines, we have a saying in Spanish, que dime con quien anda y te digo quién eres. That means, tell me with who you roll, and I'll tell you who you are as a human being. The fact that Justice Southbury is here doing this work means that I roll with you and you guys can roll with me and count on me. It means that I can get communities of color to show up, and that we want you guys to keep fighting, keep showing up, keep doing what you guys are doing, because we're grateful for that, and we're intersecting. Come to the Cultural Center. We're building a beautiful black box theater in the old John Bale bookstore, with a coffee shop, a full bar. We're going to do open mic nights, spoken word. We do an Afro-Latino film festival. And we also want to bring this out to Southbury. If you guys want us to come with these theater shows or films, just reach out to me. I have brochures for you guys. Don't worry, I came prepared. We want you guys to say, hey, Rafael, bring this to Southbury, because wherever we are, we're in this together. And especially in this region, I know sometimes it could be discouraging, like you guys are in it by yourselves, or your friends or family, like, why the hell are you out there doing that? But to a little queer boy from Waterbury, who's been homeless twice, who's been out on his luck, who's HIV positive, who's also queer, and an Afro-Taino, it means the world to me. So thank you, Ache, Luis Progreso. I'll keep it short and sweet because I can't wait to hear all of your stories. And come down to the center anytime you like. Un placer. Thank you guys so much.